The mask falls, the story of lies, justice, and new beginnings. In the bustling city of Crestwood, where skyscrapers kissed the clouds and secrets lurked in every shadow, a man named Daniel lived a life that seemed picture-perfect. But beneath the surface, Daniel was caught in a storm of betrayal, manipulation, and deceit. This is the story of how he fought to clear his name and reclaim his life. The setup and the web of lies. Daniel was a hard-working architect, known for his creativity and dedication. He had built a reputation as someone who could turn dreams into reality, both in his career and in his personal life. But his world began to crumble when an old friend, Will, started spreading rumors about him. Will, a charismatic but envious man, had always been jealous of Daniel's success and the respect he commanded in their community. Will fabricated a story claiming that Daniel had stolen designs from a rival firm and taken credit for work that wasn't his. To make matters worse, Will enlisted the help of Daniel's ex-girlfriend, Clara, who had a knack for twisting the truth. Together, they painted Daniel as a fraud, someone who didn't deserve the accolades he had earned. The fallout, shunned and isolated. The rumors spread like wildfire. Colleagues began to doubt Daniel's integrity, and clients started pulling their projects. Even some of his closest friends distanced themselves, and sure of what to believe, Daniel tried to defend himself, but the lies had taken root. Clara and Will had created a narrative so convincing that it seemed impossible to break. Daniel felt the weight of the betrayal deeply. He had always been a man of principle, and the accusations cut him to the core. He found himself isolated, spending long nights in his apartment, staring at the blueprints of projects he might never get to complete. But Daniel wasn't one to give up easily. He knew the truth, and he was determined to prove it. The turning point. A friend steps in. One evening, Daniel received a call from an old college friend, Sarah, a sharp and determined journalist. Sarah had heard the rumors and didn't believe them for a second. She offered to help Daniel. Sarah, known for her tenacity and investigative skills, began digging into the story. She interviewed colleagues, reviewed project timelines, and uncovered evidence that contradicted Will and Clara's claims. It didn't take long for the cracks in their story to show. Sarah discovered that Will had a history of sabotaging others to get ahead, and Clara had been manipulating people for years to cover her own mistakes. The Reckoning, The Mask Falls. Sarah published her findings in a widely read article titled The Mask Falls, The Truth Behind Daniel's Betrayal. The piece laid bare the lies that had been told about Daniel, exposing Will and Clara's deceit. The community was stunned. People who had once turned their backs on Daniel now saw him for who he truly was, a talented, honest man who had been wronged. Will and Clara were confronted with their lies, and their attempts to defend themselves only made things worse. Will's reputation was ruined, and Clara's manipulative behavior was exposed for all to see. The people who had once believed their stories now saw them as the villains they were. A new beginning, justice and redemption. With the truth revealed, Daniel was able to rebuild his life. Clients returned, and colleagues apologized for doubting him. The experience had been painful, but it had also made him stronger. He had learned the importance of standing up for himself and the power of truth. Daniel found solace in his work, pouring his energy into new projects that reflected his resilience and creativity. He also reconnected with friends and family, who had stood by him through the ordeal. The toxic energy that had once surrounded him was gone, replaced by a sense of peace and clarity. Epilogue, The Power of Truth. Daniel's story became a lesson for the community. It reminded everyone of the dangers of gossip and the importance of seeking the truth before passing judgment. Will and Clara, though they tried to rebuild their lives, never fully regained the trust of those around them. And as he stood on the rooftop of his latest project, watching the sun set over Crestwood, Daniel felt a sense of hope. His journey was far from over, but he was ready to face whatever came next. As for Daniel, he emerged from the ordeal with a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that no matter how dark the shadows, the truth would always find a way to shine through.